I'm Julien Paré-Sorel, creator of Adventurosaur, and you're listening to the True North Country Comic Podcast.
Welcome to the True North Country Comics Podcast, dedicated to promote Canadian comic book creators and supporters. I'm John Swinimer. If you want to drop me a line, you can contact me at john@truenorthcountrycomics.com. On this episode, I chat with Julien Paré-Sorel about Rex's awakening in his Adventurosaur series. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. It's also available on the True North Country Comics channel on YouTube. I invite you to like and subscribe. Julien, based in Montreal, has always loved telling stories through drawings. After studying fine arts at college and comic book art at university, he started his career with a number of projects, including Léothanie, the series Étienne et Charlotte, which appears in the magazine Les Débrouillards, and La Ligne Rouge. Between comic book festivals and speaking engagements in Quebec and around the world, Julien has carefully detailed the complex universe of Adventurosaur, which brings together his two long-standing passions, medieval fantasy worlds and dinosaurs. Book 1 in the Adventurosaur series is entitled Rex's Awakening, and it's the first in the series to be translated to English. The story is about Rex, a young blue dinosaur who dreams of becoming the greatest adventurer of all time. While doing odd jobs around the village of Cretentia, he takes care of his father, who is suffering from mysterious illness. A tragic event propels Rex into an epic quest. With his friends Patchy and Gogo, he will travel to the four corners of the great kingdom of Mesozoic as the adventure begins. And so, without further ado, here's my chat with Julien Paré-Sorel about Rex's awakening in his Adventurosaur series.
So, Julien Paré-Sorel, thank you very much for taking time to chat with me.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, John.
Well, I appreciate your time. What I usually do to start off the interview is ask the creator about their first comic book. So, I'm wondering, what was the first comic book that you read?
It's a good question. I think I start with Tintin, like Tintin, the old Belgium bande dessinée. But I didn't read the text. I was just amazed by the visuals and, the character is traveling all over the world. So it kind of clicked to me. And but I think the first series that I read was at the same time, Spirou and Asterix.
Yes.
Also French-Belgium bande dessinée. And I was like so blown away by the visual and the storytelling, especially Asterix. The Uderzo way of inking and all the humor in the characters. So yeah, I think it was those series.
Very good. Yeah, very good inspirations there. But I'm wondering, who or what inspires you to create today?
Oh, everything. So I have those antennas that I just really try to listen and captivate what I'm living and what I'm hearing about others' stories. But, mostly if we talk about like art, all those visual storytelling medium. So cinema, TV show, animated movies, video games, visual arts in general. So yeah, I'm a big nerd, I think, for all this
okay, cool.
Storytelling medium.
Sure. Very good, very good. Well, we're here talking about your newest book, Adventurosaur, Rex's Awakening. And I'm wondering if you could describe that book maybe for someone who might not know about it, and what inspired you to make it as well.
All right. So it's the first volume of my series right now that I'm working on. And it's mainly the story of Rex, who's a young blue dinosaur. And he's just a dreamer, but he wants to become the greatest adventurer of all time. But he's a kid. He doesn't have much experience. And his reality is kind of a little boring. He's living in a small village surrounded by a forest. And he's doing a little, jobs in order to help his father, who is like mysteriously ill, and he can't get out of his bed. So he's a good kid, but he's kind of stuck in that situation. And not to spoil anything, there's a tragic event that occur in the village. So he doesn't have much choice to go on a quest with his best friend. So Gogo and Patchy, their name. And he's looking for his origin. So he's trying to find where he's coming from. So that's the essence of the story.
Was there any specific inspiration for creating the story?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just love dinosaur since I was a kid. So I knew every species, everything there's to know about a dinosaur by heart, like when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And also I was really into fantasy, medieval world, universe. And I think this passion came from old RPG, like from video game like Zelda or Final mm-hmm. Fantasy. Mm-hmm. But also I had a board game called Hero Quest. And it's kind of a simplified version of Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so there was this map and all this quest book. And my very little patient sister, after we did all the quests, there was like this blank sheet, where you could create your own quest. Oh. And I put a lot of time and love in creating, a visual and team and characters for those quest games. And I think that's when I started to write story and think about in terms of storytelling and character evolution and so on. So but I'm a fan of Lord of the Ring. In fact, if I could give an idea to someone who doesn't know Adventurosaur, it's a mix between Lord of the Ring and the movie The Land Before Time.
Ah, right. Yeah.
So I just love those two things, dinosaur and fantasy universe.
That's very cool. I was going to say that because I was reading the preview copy that you had sent along, and at the very mm-hmm. end there are a couple maps that just speak to me about The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. So it definitely has that aspect to it. So
you're talking about the map at the end of the book?
Yes. Yeah,
exactly. With the fog of war. So mm-hmm. you'll see that at each volume the fog is disappearing, and we discover a new region of the Great Kingdom of Mesoic, as I call it.
Ah, very good. Yeah, I was going to ask you, who is the reader? Who are you aiming this book series at?
Good question. It's mostly for kids, but really I write it and I create it as a tale for all ages. So to me, it's for everyone that just love a good adventure story with classic character quest, but there's a lot of twists that are coming in the story. And if you like dinosaur or just fantasy stuff or both. Mm-hmm. So no, I write in Quebec. I have teenagers and adult and a lot of parents that tell me that they're waiting for the next volume as much as their kids. So I want to create this kind of conversation with people from all ages.
Good. I want to switch gears a wee bit and talk about your creative process. Since you're the writer and creator, artist on this book, I'm wondering if you could talk me through some of the tools that you use to create your books.
Yeah, with pleasure. I love talking about technique in comic book creation. So for this project, I wanted to have this authentic feeling. So I use the original are made with I draw the sketch with a blue pencil, and then after I ink it with a brush pen with black ink, and that's because I want to have this raw, authentic, not perfect inking, since it's dinosaur and medieval universe. And afterward, I scan it, and the colors are all digital on Photoshop. So it's traditional and more modern at the same time. So and the color, I want them to be very vibrant. So there's a mix there.
Yeah, you can definitely tell, like looking at the pages, that it's sort of, as you say, raw. It's prehistoric, so you get that sort of rough sort of feel. But the colors definitely pop.
Yeah.
And as the scenes change, the environments change, so do the colors as well. So I think it's very well suited. That's for sure.
Oh, thanks. I am happy you saw that.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. I guess that this is keeping you busy. I mean, even though we're in a pandemic and you haven't been able to do as many speaking opportunities and show and tell, so to speak, you're still keeping busy, and there's more to this, I guess, right? Can you talk a wee bit more about what's coming in the future for you for the Adventurosaur series?
So right now the fourth one is coming in French all across Canada in the mid-November. So the title is Les Portes de Jurasia. So in English, the doors to Jurasia, I guess. I'm not sure. I didn't thought about this before. Yeah, I'm starting the fifth one in the next month. So I'm going to be in a writing process for the next weeks. There will be 6 volumes in total for the first arc, the first narrative arc. We'll see after that, but I have many possibilities. So maybe I can do like the story of Rex's parents before he was born.
Mm-hmm.
There's a main event that occurs in the past called the Great War of the Titans. I'm excited about telling this story, but also the character, and I hope you will able to see the evolution in the future. But they grow. They mature, and telling a story in their teenage years would be really interesting for me. So I have a lot of idea for this universe. I can't wait to work on the translation of the second book. In French, it's L'Héritage de Cory. So Cory's legacy, who is another character that we met in the second book. She's a ninjaptor.
Oh, wow. Okay,
so
cool.
A ninja velociraptor.
I should have asked you this before, but in your creative process, did you find that it helped that you had an outline already created in the books rather than do one, stop, and then think up ideas for the second one? Was it helpful that you could actually see this 6-book process already, some sort of outline already?
Mm-hmm. Good question. In fact, I took 1 year before starting the first volume to create the universe, the characters, the main plot, all the design of the village, the characters, all the main bullet points of the story are already right. But I'm trying to improvise a little and let the characters guide me in all kind of different ways, because they are starting to live by themselves,
They're speaking to you as you're creating them.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good.
And that's the beauty of it. I think when we are working on a series and you spend time with those characters for many years, they are slowly taking life, and developing their own personality and their own choice and their own this, for example, in the last one, I had a specific plan for one of the character. And as I was writing the story, there was another character that kind of popped in the scene and said, no, this is not gonna happen the way you think. So I'm really open to those kind of interesting, not accident, but how can I say, event.
Right. Now, you mentioned, just circling back to your inspiration, you mentioned Hero Quest and Dungeons and Dragons. Do you think, perhaps, one day you might create your own game based on these characters and let the readers create their own stories?
Oh, I would love to. I would really love to. There's already, talks and brainstorming for a board game.
Oh,
so
nice.
we'll just have to see in the next years. But it would be a dream come true. And also, why not a video game?
There's
a lot of video game reference in the comics. So
yes.
And I'm really writing the story with this sense of interaction between the characters, the quest, and the readers. So I want them to feel involved in the story, and in I draw a lot of details in the background. And so the readers that observe well, they can see some alliance between different characters and some little key elements.
Very good. Well, Julien, it sounds like you're going to be kind of busy. So I'm wondering, where do you recommend people go online and through social media to find out about your current and your future projects?
So I have artist pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's my full name. So Julien Paré-Sorel. Also on Facebook, there's a page dedicated to the series. If you want to find it, it's in French. So it's Adventurosaur. But all the news about my work and what's going on, if you want to see in advance what is coming for the series, because of all the covers of the second, third, and fourth book are already online, you can check what is coming for the series.
Very good. Very good. Well, Julien, those are all the questions I have, but I'm wondering if there's something I didn't ask that you'd like to get across in this interview.
Interesting. I think it's my first book that is being translated. So I'm really excited about, reaching and new readers and knowing what their experiences are. And can't wait to, travel across Canada and meet the new readers. It's a good time for me. I really am excited about this translation. So I hope people have fun. I hope that people are going to fall in love with the characters, because I'm having a lot of fun with this series. It's kind of the comic book that I always wanted to read as a child, but that I didn't find. So at one point in my life, I just said, okay, I'm going to do it. And that's it.
Thanks to Julien for the chat. You can discover more about Julien on Twitter and Instagram at Julien Paré-Sorel and online at julienparesorel.com. And thanks to you for listening to the True North Country Comics podcast. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to and like this podcast on Apple Podcasts, and please leave a good rating. Also check out the TrueNorthCountryComics.com website and follow along on Twitter at True North Comics. True North Country Comics is now on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to that video channel. Please send your feedback to John at TrueNorthCountryComics.com. Thanks again for listening, and come back soon for another episode. Bye for now. True North Country Comics Podcast is copyright True North Country Comics, copyright 2021.